July Zerg versus the Rock. I just love July Zerg. I want him to win his third OSL title. He's already got 2 under his belt, and if he wins the third, he'll be the only other player than Nada to have a golden mouse. And I just want to see another golden mouse being awarded myself. I never got to see the original game live, where Nada got his years ago. And also, honestly, the Rock, I mean, come on. I didn't even expect he'd be in the round of 8, but I don't think he'll be able to beat July Zerg. Not a July Zerg who's gotten back into form as he is now. I've never seen The Rock do very well against Zerg. I don't think his statistics are very good. And frankly, I'm just rooting for the veteran player. He's really the only old player left here. And meanwhile, it looks like this Corsair getting flown over a couple of Hydralisks here. Not going to be able to do any damage now. But I think Spear's in a pretty good position, actually, because critically, Aspire going up, by the way, for 815, but 815 has not put his Zerglings in a forward position. He's not put any forces in a contained position. So basically, he's put no pressure on the Protoss player, not forced him to put up any more cannons than the first 2, and now the Protoss player has a lot of forces, and he has the initiative. He's been able to strike at will, and you know, that is not what you want to do. You want to have Hydralisks near the ramp, so even if the Protoss player moves out with Zealots, your Hydros are able to at least get a couple of shots on them before they reach your main base, using micro, basically shoot and retreat with your Hydralisks, and you'll be able to pick off at least their shields by then. But 2 Archons now up for Spear. Interesting enough, he's decided not to go for High Templar and Storm, but he's going for early offense here, going for those big old Archons to deal with these Zerglings. Although there's a number of Hydros being produced, so I don't think a direct attack will work here, especially because of those 2 Sunkens at the 2 expansions. A very good move there, I think, from Spear. Sorry, from 815. And Spear has a DT, actually, with his group. So, and Mutalisks out for 815. Interesting. So 815 decided to go for Mutalisks. I don't think that's a good idea at all against those 2 Archons. They're just going to get eaten alive. And meanwhile, the attack is going in. Zealots in front here. Zealots getting in the face of those Hydralisks. And those Zealots are going to take down that Sunken Colony. And actually, 815 is in big trouble here. He's got a large Protoss army alive and well inside of a second base. I don't know what he was doing this entire game, but wow, he's hugely behind. I think he's going to lose these 2 hatcheries. I don't know why he decided to build Mutalisks. I guess he didn't see those Archons, but of course those Archons are, you know, obviously going to eat out those Mutalisks, because the Mutalisks are basically flying around. All they're doing is trying to avoid the Archon. Meanwhile, 1 hatchery of the 4 goes down. A couple Hydras trying to bring some reinforcements up, but really he's in huge trouble. He's already lost 1 Ooh, wow, look at that Archon. His psionic arms there are killing off a number of probes in 1 hit, and still a large force of Zealots there. I think if, yeah, Spear needs to go and control them and kill those hatcheries off. Those 5 Mutalisks still trying to pick off those Zealots, but not going to be able to do too much damage with that Archon chasing it. And those Hydras need to pick off that Archon. Looks like the Hydras do pick off the Archon, but at the cost of both of the hatcheries there. So basically, 815 has got another hatchery there, but basically he's lost 2 hatcheries and his entire army. And the Mutalisks, I don't think, will be a very effective force. I think Spear has, meanwhile, taken his second base there. Yeah, he is going to take that second base at his natural expansion, second natural expansion with the mirror only. And only 4 Mutalisks up for 815. They're going to try to do a harass, but I don't think this is going to be very successful. A High Templar there also. If he's not careful, you get stormed very hard also. And wow, I don't know why he decided to go for Mutalisks. My only guess is he didn't see those Archons, but I think that was a big tech mistake. I think just getting the Spire that early without any lurkers around was kind of a mistake, it felt to me. You usually want to get that Spire for some Scourge to deal with observers, but really at that point what he needed was mass Hydras. That was the correct move against that Archon Zealot army, but instead he got Mutalisks for some reason, and the Mutalisks just got eaten up there by the Archons. Weren't able to do anything. And now Lurkers are up for 815, but I don't know if he's going to be able to recover from this economic hit here that he's taken. He's also going for a very interesting build here, getting a little bit of everything, and I don't think that's the right way to go against a good Protoss player. Really, a little bit of everything does not work. Meanwhile, though, another force of Speedlots coming up with 3 Archons following suit. We're not seeing any Psionic Storm here. I guess Spear doesn't even want to bother with Psystorm. He's just going to rely on these big old Archons to do the job for him. And now they're going to... I think they're going to gather up and rush in here. Although the one thing that's going to save 815, I think, is the lack of an observer with that army. Oh, just as I'm saying that, 2 observers are following up. Wow, I don't see what 815 can do now. 815 does have 2 lurkers in a good position there behind the second base. And this might actually force Spear back. No, I think Spear is trying to decide whether to go back or not. He's a little indecisive. +1 upgrade, by the way, up for him. And now he's going in straight in for the attack here. I think he does have observers alongside, so he is going to be able to pick off those lurkers. Losing a lot of Hydralisks there, and now losing the lurkers. I think the lurkers are going to go down. Still the 3 Archons alive, and he needs to target those Archons with the Hydralisks. But now, wow, the Archons are still nearly at full shields, and I think this is a good game here for 8-15. And now the lurker is getting stormed. Yeah, 2 storms will kill off those lurkers. And wow, those Archons are just tearing the crap out of that base. Really interesting play by Spear, going for an Archon rush. That's the only way I can really describe it. Not building a lot of Corsairs, not building a lot of Zealots, going for the Archon rush and beating a very excellent Zerg player in 8-15 in this game. Well played by Spear, I have to say. I haven't seen many of his games, but this game is quite impressive, and he adds to his so far perfect record against Zerg, although it's from a very small sample size. And here we're seeing him getting congratulated by his team. In Game 2, we're going to see Jaedong versus Lucifer, another Zerg versus Protoss match, although I'm sorry, not Jaedong, Luxury versus Lucifer, although this time the teams will be reversed. We're going to see the formidable Lucifer against Luxury, who is one of the top Zerg players in the world, and a member of OGN. Hope you guys enjoy this commentary. Please leave some messages, guys, and suggestions about what you want to see. I am going to be doing an old Pimpus play game, played between Gur and someone called Lee Jung or something like that. It's supposed to be a very epic Zerg versus Protoss game. I might be able to do the cast of the replay today or tomorrow. We'll have to see, but I will do that. Thanks for your suggestions, guys. Yeah, this is Cholerasc signing off.